Hello again, all my friends, grade 7 students, parents, teachers, anyone in the world watching this video. This is our 5th video on our measurement unit, and this is actually going to be a review for our quiz, which is on Friday. Keep that in mind, Quiz Friday. I don't know how many times I've reminded everybody in the class, but I'm going to keep reminding you so you know. And remember, so far we have covered perimeter and area. As always, delighted to be with you. It is Mr. Benjamin, and I have someone with me.
And that is Mrs. T. Oh.
And for those of you who don't know who Mrs. T is, yeah, you know it's Mrs. Terrio. And she's very, very, very happy to be here as well, just as I am. Her face looks better than mine, but that's okay.
All right, just one little thing. The quiz is Friday, March what?
Friday, March, is it the 11th?
Yeah, I think it's
11th.
Yeah.
Very good. And Miss Terrio actually told me a really funny math joke today, too. Do you want to go ahead and start it?
Okay, do you know what the perimeter said to the area?
I don't know. What did the perimeter say to the area?
I don't know either.
We don't know what they said. They don't say anything to each other. Okay, so talking about perimeter and area again, we can recall from our previous lessons, perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around an object. So if we look at these arrows here around our rectangle, if we were to add up all of the lengths, all of the sides, the lengths and widths, and we add them together, we get the perimeter. That is the distance around the object. This can be measured in centimeters, meters, kilometers, whatever you're measuring in, inches, bugs, cows, cats, whatever it is. That's what you measure it in. Area is slightly different. Area isn't the distance around it anymore. Area is actually the space in between or on the surface. It's the total surface of a face, of a side, or of an object. And another big difference, when we're talking about area, we don't just measure in centimeters, meters, kilometers. We have to have that 2 above it. That means centimeters squared. Because like we talked about, that means every little area here, there's a square going on, and it covers the whole thing. And that's our area. Bye-bye squares.
Yeah, the inside.
It's the inside, the surface. So now I'm going to pass over to Ms. Terrio, and she's going to explain everything else.
Okay, this is very easy. You know that, right? So what is the name of this? That is the square. And why is the square? Because it has 4 equal sides. How do you find the area of the square? We are going to give you on the quiz this formula to find the area and this to find the perimeter. Now, again, we studied the square. This one is the rectangle. And the area is calculated by multiplying the length multiplied by width, and the perimeter. You have to add the sides, the around the area, around the shape. The inside the shape is the area, the outside is the perimeter. Here you have the name of this shape is the parallelogram. Do you remember the parallelogram? You have to be careful because in here, this is not the side, okay? This is not the height. This is the height, all right? So we have the square. That's the square. Oops. This is the what?
That's a rectangle.
Rectangle.
I know that.
Thank you. Rectangle. And this one is a very long word. Is the parallelogram, right? Parallelogram. Right? I hope school spelling that. So yeah, so I have gave you the area of the square, the rectangle, the parallelogram, and look at the difference between these calculations. You multiply for the area and you add for the perimeter. Now you have to always remember the units. Units are so important. When you calculate an area, it's going to be units square, centimeter square or meter square, kilometer square, and perimeter is linear units. It's just centimeters. All right. So now continuing, here we have the triangle. So this is a triangle. And this triangle has 3 sides, and this is the height of the triangle. So again, the area is base times height divided by 2, and this is how you calculate the perimeter. Area, side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. So you have to pay close attention of the, please,
Ms. Terry, what are
Pay-
you trying to say here?
pay attention of the measurements of the size that it will be given to you. Just take a look at it. Take a look at the numbers. Okay, so now we have in here 4 sides to calculate the perimeter. So that's side 1, side 2, side 3, and side 4. So you have to be careful because you have to pay attention and close attention to the measurements. Here you have the,
Wait a second. Are you saying sometimes our students don't pay attention?
yeah, well, yes, that's what I'm saying. Because I've seen sometimes that you're missing one measurement,
Missing a measurement?
and then you won't be able to have the correct answer for the perimeter.
Oh my gosh.
Instead, the perimeter comes in centimeters or linear meters, and here is a square because it's area, square. So this is how you calculate the area of, with these equations, you calculate the area of the triangle and you calculate the area of the trapezoid. So that is what I can tell you. Tomorrow you have to know this. The main thing that you should know is the difference between the perimeter and the area. And it's going to be easy because we're going to give you the equations and you just have to replace numbers.
Put the numbers in and work with them.
Yeah.
Very good. So a couple things to remember. Always keep these things in mind. We've mentioned them over and over and over again, but I can almost guarantee you some of you are still going to forget it. And to be honest with you, I forget it sometimes. We all make mistakes, but you always have to go back and review your work and make sure it's complete. So the first thing is units. Always remember your units. Depending on if you're looking at perimeter or area, your units can be different. So if you have perimeter, it might equal centimeters, but area can still equal centimeters, but it won't be centimeters, it'll be centimeters squared. And that's the same for meters, kilometers, anything you want to say, but area always has that square. Sentences, full sentences when needed. If you are ever given a word problem, and I know I mentioned this earlier, if you are ever given a word problem, you have to answer it with a full sentence. That's just how it is. For formulas, we are actually going to give you the formulas for the test. But, well, I said test, it's really a quiz. But I'm not going to tell you which formula is which, so that's something you need to keep in mind. So formulas will be given, but I need you to know which shape
Belongs to, yeah.
it belongs to. Keep that in mind, and if you're confused about that, you need to ask us, okay? One more thing, we talked about word problems. So we're going to go over a word problem fairly quickly, okay? And it has something to do with something that we mentioned in class a couple of days ago. It's about phones and looking at new phones and whether or not people will get new phones and reasons to get new phones. So if Mac, or Mackenzie, is getting a new phone, I'm going to erase all this. It's very, very messy. I'm just going to write it all over again. But the reasons why we get new phones, we can get new phones for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes we don't think about different issues when we get a new phone, though. So phones seem to be getting bigger and bigger. Phones used to be this small. Now phones are a bit wider. Soon enough, phones are going to be looking like this, and it's going to be everywhere. But if you have a phone that big, is it going to fit in your pocket? I don't know, because I haven't seen your pockets. But if I have a phone that has a perimeter of, say, 18 centimeters, and I'm looking at a new phone, I'm getting a new phone that has measurements, not perimeters, but measurements. Say 6 centimeters up top, and say 8 centimeters on the length. So remember length, width, but it's really perimeter, so it's really side, 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 and side. So will this new phone fit in my pocket? My old phone fits just fine at 18 centimeters. I think anything bigger might be too big. But I want you to tell me what the perimeter is of this new phone. And when you answer this question, you have to tell me the new phone has a perimeter. Oh, come on. Perimeter of ... and whatever it is.
And also, I would like you to answer me. Would you have a bigger screen? What will be the size of the screen that... Yeah. What will be the size of the screen that contains all these apps in there that are displayed on your screen?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. You're no longer looking for the perimeter. You're looking for something else. And you should know what it is.
Right.
So, what is the size
Ms. McIntosh, Fatima, please
Uh,
call 221.
Your
the
screen.
screen? So that's a two-part question now.
Yeah.
Hope everybody understands that. We're going to be looking at it in tomorrow's class before the quiz. Ms. Terrio, do you have anything to add?
No, I just would like everybody to be responsible and watch the videos and study.
And
The
what are we
only
going to
thing
say?
that I'm asking you is please study and
Exclamation mark.
thank you.
And thank you. We always say thank you for watching our video.
Thank you.
Sometimes the pen doesn't work.
Yeah.
And our trademark is a big happy face.
All right.
Yay! Have a great day, everyone, and good luck on the test.